We've covered many of the items under the Format menu, so I'd like to cover the rest of them, but also review the previously covered items. So under the Format menu, you'll see that we have our font, our size, our style, our aligned text, line spacing, orientation, and text color. Many of these items are already available, such as the fonts, and also the size, the text color, even the new text highlighting feature, bold, italic, and underline, as well as a lot of the alignment tools. Not all of them are available here, and what you want to do is realize the difference between some of these items and what's up here. So first of all, there's less of them here. You'll see that also on the font menu it starts at the top here. Here it starts on the selected font, which is great. Makes it much easier in a lot of cases to find what you're looking for. Here you'd have to go ahead and scroll all the way down until you find it. As far as the size, you've got all the same options here. The style, you have extra styles here, more than you have on the status toolbar. And if you don't know how to get this area showing, I've shown it before, but I want to show it again to make sure it's clear. You click on this little A, and it shows the formatting bar. You also have your aligned text. Again, these are here, which correspond to these choices here. But then you have top, center, and bottom. Now these are actually shown inside the inspector. And so we don't have those showing on this toolbar here. They're actually shown on the inspector. And they're right here. And you also have these alignment tools. So the inspector is really handy, putting everything in one place. So you see these tools here. And what they do is allow you to go ahead and put your text not left to right or center horizontally, but in the middle of the field or at the bottom of the field or at the top of the field. So you can see that notes field changing there. So remember that about this inspector. It's got a lot of the stuff that you're used to if you use earlier versions of FileMaker inside of it rather than under the menus, or duplicated in the inspector, and much easier to get to in a lot of cases. So you have also your orientation. Now this is really for Asian text like Japanese text. So typically in Roman languages you're just going to use horizontal here. Then of course you got text color. So all that stuff's available there, and we've covered it all, and it's very easy to use if you've used a word processor or anything like that. You'll be comfortable with how to use these items. Now what you'll see is some missing stuff here. Stuff that you're used to if you've used previous versions. It's no big deal. It's still there. It's just not on the Format menu anymore. Things like your text, your number, your date, your time, and your graphic formatting, as well as your field control borders, behavior, and things like that. Those are all removed, and they're placed inside of the inspector tool under the data as well as under the appearance tab. So we'll go over those in a later section. Right now we're going to skip them because they're not under the Format menu anymore. Now if you come down here, you'll also see that we have some options that we're not going to cover, like portal setup, tab control setup. Well, we already covered that one, and we'll give you an idea how it works. If you click on your tab control, you can go up to here and choose tab control setup, but that's really the same as double clicking on it. It's no difference between the two. So until we cover these types of tools like portal setup, which is for a relationship, we're not going to cover this option here. Web viewer setup, we haven't done those. Chart setup, which is a new FileMaker 11 feature, we haven't covered that. We haven't done scripting, so we haven't done buttons. So we're not going to cover these right now. We'll save them for later. They're more advanced features. But let's cover how the Format Painter tool works. And I don't know if you remember, but a couple of sections ago we decided to go ahead and put list view over here. And what I did was I copied and pasted it over to here. And then I changed it from for view to list view. Well, let's say you've got something that you want to go ahead and apply the same settings. So let's say we have, let's go back over here to list view, and we'll make it some black text and maybe make it italics or something like that. I come back here, I click on my object that I like. I go up to the Format menu and choose the Format Painter. You can see it's got this new icon. I come over here and I click on this, and it applies the same setting, every single setting. So it can be a very quick way to apply all those formatting pieces to an object, from one object to another. You also have conditional. It's not highlighted right now because we don't have a field selected, but we're not going to go over it anyhow because this is a fairly sophisticated masking and calculation section. We haven't covered calculations, and we really haven't covered masking. It's fairly advanced, and we're actually not going to get to it until the advanced tutorial. And the same with set script triggers. These aren't the same script triggers as we saw in the layout setup under this tab. These are layout script triggers. These script triggers are object script triggers. So there's two types of triggers, two types of events, a layout type event or an object type event that can make a script trigger or run, not by clicking a button, just by that event occurring, like entering a field or something like that. So most of the stuff except for up here we're going to cover later. It's all fairly advanced stuff in this format menu.